Hello everybody. I don't know why I feel weird standing when I start out a video, but I do. Anyways, what's up? It's Fern. Thank you so much for joining me for another Planty video. Today we are going to be featuring all of my hanging plants. One of y'all requested actually a few of you requested a hanging plants video. So I'm going to be giving you a closer look at the plants that I'm growing in both of my south facing windows and then also in a couple of other spots around the house as well. I love hanging plants so much. They were definitely my first love when it came to houseplants. I feel like they can instantly just add a really jungly kind of vibe to a space. So yeah, I love all different shapes and forms of them. I feel like they come in some really quirky varieties as well, especially when you get into some rhipsalis and stuff like that, which I will show later in the video. So yeah, I'm excited to show them all off to you today. I used to have a lot more of the kind of traditional hanging plants that you would see, like your pothos and your heartleaf philodendron, but I don't really have many. Actually, I tend to grow pothos climbing now, but I do want to add in this year maybe a couple of just kind of those classics back into my collection, just to add a little bit of variety, because I do tend to have a lot of my hoyas hanging, so I think it would be kind of nice to balance them out. I'm not technically growing this hanging right now, so it wasn't going to be officially featured in this video, but I'll show it to you now. This is my variegated heartleaf philodendron, and it's starting to trail down a little bit now, and it's just so pretty, and I think that this would look stunning in a hanging basket or trailing down a shelf or something. I love the way that heartleaf philodendron looks when it trails. Actually, one of my favorite varieties is the lemon lime, or like the neon heartleaf. I think that that one is so pretty too, and I really would like to repurchase that. I got rid of mine last year. Do I have some regrets? Maybe I do, okay? But I can always just go pick up another one, or probably find cuttings or something from somebody as well. But yeah, you really can't beat these kind of classics. So my hanging plants might change a little bit this year, but I do have some really fun ones to show you. I have a lot of hoya, even an anthurium, some cactus, jungle cactus. Yeah, I think it's gonna be a really fun video, so I hope that that sounds good to you. I'm honestly trying to beat the sun a little bit here because it's gonna be a full sun day today, which is insane. If you have been watching, or if you're a frequent viewer of my channel, you probably can kind of see the weather patterns happening, and it has been gloomy for like the past 3 months, and then the past couple of weeks we've had so much sun, so it is a very welcome change, but it can be a little bit difficult at this time of year to film in front of the windows when it's super sunny. It's 9:30, but it's already getting really bright. Before we get into the nitty-gritty of showing all of the plants, I want to say a huge thank you to the sponsor of today's video, Helix Sleep. Helix Sleep offers premium mattresses that are customized to fit your needs and shipped straight to your door. There is nothing more important than getting a good night's sleep, and finding the right mattress is absolutely essential to that. My Helix mattress has completely transformed the quality of my sleep. Same with my boyfriend. We both agree that it's the best mattress we've ever slept on, and it also just makes my cozy hobbies so much more comfortable as well. When I'm reading in bed and stuff like that, it's just so cozy. Now, mattresses are obviously not one size fits all. We all have different needs and different preferences, and that's why Helix offers a sleep quiz so you can be matched up to your perfect mattress. I was matched with the Midnight Luxe, and honestly, I could not be happier with it. I've been sleeping on our Midnight Luxe for 1.5 years now, and it really is like the perfect middle ground. It's medium firm, which is my preference, but it's soft enough that it kind of offloads pressure points and is just super like contouring and comfortable. It's honestly a dream. You know when people describe sleeping on a really good mattress as sleeping on a cloud? That's literally how I feel when I'm in bed. I'm very passionate about my bed. I really am. That's my like safe space. Like, it goes down on my gratitude list. Another thing that I love about Helix is just how easy it was to get to my home, because it shows up at your front door. They offer free shipping in the US, and it comes rolled up in a box, so it's super easy to set up. I love that you don't have to mess around with renting a truck to go pick it up and, you know, it's a whole big procedure to get on the bed and everything. No. Super easy, super straightforward. You also get a 100-night sleep trial to test it out and make sure that you're absolutely in love with it. Helix also offers a 10-year warranty. They have flexible payment plans and financing options options. If you are interested, right now is a stunning time to check out Helix. They're offering my viewers an exclusive discount, 27% off your mattress plus 2 free pillows, which is an incredible deal. You can shop via the link that will be down below in the description box. Thank you so much to Helix for sponsoring today's video. Okay, the sun already is really coming for us, you guys. So I think that my plan is gonna be just to work from left to right across my home, I guess. So we're gonna start off with the first plant, which is Hoya bella. Okay, so here is my Bella. She looks huge. She's grown a lot over the past year. Or I guess, yeah, the past year. Man, she's constantly on the go here, not only with putting out leaves, but also with blooming. This is a Hoya that many people experience near constant blooms on. Now, unfortunately, of course, mine is not in bloom right now, but she just went through a massive bloom cycle probably 4 to 6 weeks ago where she was completely covered in flowers and she looked just incredible. They have a light floral scent, nothing overpowering, so even though she gets so many flowers, it's not like, you know, too much. I have 2 varieties in this pot. There is the, okay, we're gonna have to just There is the, oh dear, I'm afraid, you guys. Is this lighting gonna, I'm not used to filming in the sun here. Okay, so we have the inner variegated, which you can see right there. That is my favorite one, like aesthetics wise. But the outer variegated is the one that grows way better for me. Like this pot is probably 90% outer variegated and only 10% inner variegated, just because I have a much harder time growing the inner variegated, which makes sense because the inner variegated obviously just has a lot more variegation on it. So it's going to be a slower grower because it has less of the nice dark green chlorophyll. But yeah, this is stunning, stunning, stunning. Love Hoya bella so much. Now, a lot of people have really great success growing this plant. I think that that's why it's a more common variety. It's a just very prolific grower, prolific bloomer, easy to propagate, and yeah, I think that's why it's so widely available. I will say that this one, I think in general, it's hardy and easygoing, especially once you get it to be more established, but they do have some different preferences compared to a lot of other Hoya. So for one, they are more thirsty, and 2, they for some reason are prone to spider mites, which is kind of annoying. I haven't had issues with spider mites on mine in a while, but in the past I've definitely had that experience, like persistent spider mites on Hoya bella. So it's just something to keep in mind. Make sure you're showering your plants or doing a preventative pest treatment, and you should be fine. But yeah, she's so gorgeous. I think that she gives just such a cool look, and especially when she's covered in flowers, like you cannot beat her. Yeah, really, really gorgeous. And yeah, like I said, these plants that I'm going to be showing right now are all grown in my south-facing window, so they do get pretty good light, but keep in mind, or if you're new here, I live in the Pacific Northwest, so I'm not getting like scorching sun for a lot of the year. It can be quite overcast most of the time. Okay, is she sorted here now? She's kind of like, a lot of these plants just hang kind of slanted in their pots because they're very heavy on one side, but that's okay. We just kind of roll with it. Come on, girl. Actually, you know what? These need to be watered, so I can even water these like as I'm filming this video. Smart. I was watering this area of plants this morning, but I skipped all of the hanging plants because I didn't want to be like taking them down and they're heavy and spilling water, dripping water everywhere and stuff, because I knew I was going to be filming this video. But something else that I wanted to say for just general care of these plants, I fertilize usually every second watering. I'll usually fertilize at least a couple of times a month. I use liquid fertilizer, and I'm currently using the General Hydroponics 3-part, like the Flora series, but I was using Miracle Grow, just like a 2020 Miracle Grow that I was trying to use up for the past year, and they all did super well and I got tons of blooms. So yeah, just random information of what I've been using to fertilize. I'm someone who usually just like goes back and forth depending on whatever I have on hand, and yeah, maybe they enjoy the variety, I don't know. We're all Geminis here. I'm literally drinking from a Libra mug right now. Libra rising. My green tea obsession. Okay, next one. Okay, the next one is a big one, you guys. Okay, this one apparently has water in the tray from the last time I watered it, and I am not only spilling water everywhere, but a bunch of dried flowers are coming off and dropping everywhere also. Okay, well, I'm sure that none of you will be surprised to see my Hoya walliniana covered in flowers and dropping them everywhere. If you've been on my channel before, first of all, she's getting massive. I need to back you up. Okay, this is the best I have to offer to show you the full thing here. Oh my goodness. She's even, I can't even get her, like she has more coming down onto the floor. Like, excuse me? She is huge. Huge, 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 huge. So this is my, did I even say? This is my walliniana UT152. There's different types of walliniana you can get out there. This is the only one I've ever had. I know that there's a variegated one and yeah, different ones available, I guess. But I love this one. She gets really purple if she's exposed to high light. Let me try to grab, oh dear. I don't know if you can see. This is so, can you see any of her purple leaves? I don't know if I'm gonna be successful in showing that. Well, can you see her flowers? Because that is probably my favorite thing about this Hoya. She constantly has a million flowers on her and it makes me so incredibly happy to see them. This is my Hoya that gets probably the most flowers. They're all the way down. You can see peduncles in like different stages as well, if I'm showing it. But yeah, she's incredible. Sun stresses, grows like a weed, flowers constantly. I can't recommend this Hoya enough. Also, of course, all of the Hoyas in this video are ones that I've found do really well trailing. You could trellis this one as well. But I don't know, I just think it's nice to have it trailing. Maybe I would try trellising it one day, but I feel like it just looks really stunning having such a large trailing flowering plant in the window. So yeah, she's definitely one of my favorites. I wish it wasn't so hard to show her on the screen, but I'm sure that you get the idea. She is just magnificent. Okay, next we have the hanging basket that I've had the longest. So let me grab her down. So this is, this is my Hoya Crimson Queen. Oh man, she's huge. As you can see, she is huge and very, very heavy. I am getting my workout in right now, like very, very heavy. I don't think that she needs to be watered, at least I hope not, or else I think the curtain rod's gonna be coming down soon. Let me feel. Okay, no, she's still moist, thank goodness. So like I said, this is one of the first hanging plants that I got. I've had this for 5 or 6 years now. She finally bloomed for me for the first time last year, which was really special. I don't know what took her so long. Well, I think that Carnosa varieties are known for taking longer or needing to get really established or mature to bloom. But then I see a lot of other ones that are smaller that do bloom, so I don't know. But I also repotted her last year for the first time, so I put her into a nice fresh substrate and sized up her pot. I have a whole video on that repot, so I can link that down in the description if you are interested. But yeah, I love her so much. I love the Crimson Queen. It's such a classic. The variegation is stunning. She puts out a lot of leaves that are all white, and of course they come out pink. If you can see, there's a new leaf right there. It is pink, which is so cute. I'm treating her for flat mites right now, so if you see sulfur, if you see a sulfur on any of these plants over here, or white stuff on it, then that's the sulfur. But yeah, love the variegation. I think that this plant is so underrated. It can get super, super pink if you give it a lot of light. It's just beautiful. I have to put her down now. Whew, I'm literally sweating. Okay, we're gonna mix it up here for a minute. Well, not really, because it's still a Hoya. This is one of the smallest plants that I have hanging in the window, but do not be fooled because it is one of my absolute favorites. So this is Hoya davidcummingii, and it's fairly new to me. I've had it for around a year now, actually, so I mean, it's been a while, enough for me to get to know it a little bit. Now, I bought this one because it has very cute pink blooms. I was not expecting to get blooms on this within the first few months of owning it, but I actually did, which is crazy. It bloomed for me last summer, and this has become one of my favorite flowers. Like, as far as Hoya flowers go, this is one of my top favorites, based on not only the way it looks, but also the smell. It has this luxurious caramel scent to it. This hangs close to my couch, like above it, and whenever I would sit down, I would get a whiff of just this beautiful, sweet smell. It was just so, so nice. So yeah, I'm obsessed with the flowers on this. It's only given me the one bloom so far, but I'm really hoping that it's gonna be one of those Hoya that once it gets going, it doesn't stop, and I'll end up getting a lot of blooms on it. I'm just in love with it. It's been putting out a lot of new growth for me lately. We have some new leaves coming out at the top there. We also have new leaves coming out on this vine. Little baby ones. To me, the leaves look pretty similar to like Hoya wayetii. It's that kind of vibe. I like the leaves. I think that it's pretty, but that's definitely not why I bought it. I really am obsessed with the pink, fuzzy, sweet smelling flowers on this one. I feel like this is one that is easy to overlook, especially if you see it in a plant shop or something. So I am here to tell you that it is phenomenal, and I think more people should have this in their collection. Okay, so now we are actually switching it up with an anthurium that I grow hanging in my window. Now this one doesn't get as much direct sun as the others, because I know some people have commented and told me that they think this is getting too much light and to take it out of the window. But the way it is, like it's the one that is at the very edge of the window, so it's pretty much blocked from a lot of the afternoon direct sun. So it gets bright light, but I don't think that it necessarily gets scorched. Anyways, regardless, I think that it is doing well in there. This is the best that anthurium vittarifolium has ever looked for me. I mean, I still would love to have it fill out some more, but we've come a long way. I grew this from cuttings, I think. Yeah, I was having a weird issue. Honestly, I've struggled with this plant for a long time. It's just been in the past like 6 months that this has actually started growing well for me and like recovering, I guess, from whatever it was going through. It was going through some stuff. So I have multiple cuttings potted in here, which I did because I really want to see this become a super bushy hanging plant. But I love strappy anthurium. I also have the pallidiflorum, which I will show later because I mean, it's kind of hanging, it's sitting on a shelf, so I don't know, it's kind of hard to decide which plants to include in this video or not, but I'll quickly, maybe I'll show it to you right now, or after this one actually, just to do a little compare and contrast. So like I said, I've struggled with this a little bit. I do find it to be kind of finicky and difficult to care for, especially in comparison to something like my pallidiflorum, which I've just had a way easier time with, but it is really pretty. I'm a sucker for a long strappy leaf, so I do love it, and I'm excited to watch it fill out even more over this year. It also just adds something different, something nice and like, I don't know, leafy, I guess, in the window to break up all of the Hoya that I have growing. It's definitely a kind of like thick and leathery feeling anthurium, but it is not as like shiny and velvety looking as my pallidiflorum, or as dark. So yeah, I'll grab the pallidiflorum now just to kind of show you that one as well. Okay, here's my anthurium pallidiflorum. I've been growing this out for a few years now. It's super, super long. Like it's literally almost as tall as I am when I'm holding it. It's almost touching the floor. So yeah, it's massive. I grow this on top of my plant shelf, and I just featured it actually in my low lights video because it doesn't get a ton of light, but it still gives me these beautiful dark strappy, oh my gosh, it's putting out a new one too. Oh, that's so exciting. Okay, I don't want to disturb it too much then. Trying to get the light right to show you this, but it features these beautiful dark velvety leaves. So honestly, it does look a lot different than the vittarifolium. Honestly, I much prefer this one if you're stuck between the two of them. Anyways, yeah, another strappy leafy option. Okay, so we were at that window over there and we're moving over to this window here. I do also, like I said, it's hard to choose which plants to feature in this video or not because some of them I grow at like just kind of sitting on shelves. They're not necessarily hanging, but they're trailing. So I guess I'll just show them quickly as we go through. This is my Hoya Matilde, also recently featured in my low light video. Okay, we have another big Hoya, which I've had for 5 or 6 years also, so I'm gonna grab it down. Okay, so this is my Hoya compacta, one of my favorite, not only just Hoya, but one of my favorite plants of all time. I got this as, I think it was just like one little piece in a 4-inch pot from Canadian Tire or Home Depot, and yeah, I've been growing it out for several years. I've been growing it out for several years now, and it's obviously filled out a lot and it's getting pretty long, which is pretty freaking cool to see. This flowered for me years ago, maybe like 3 or 4 years ago now, when it was still pretty small, and it hasn't flowered for me again since because I don't think I've been growing it in enough light. So last year I moved it to the window, and I did that in hopes to get some flowers. So I'm really crossing my fingers for blooms this summer because I love compacta blooms. They smell like Tootsie Rolls and they're so stinking cute. So yeah, I'll be really happy if that happens. But in general, I just love, like, I don't know, I just love the vibes of this plant. I think it's so fun. I know that a lot of people hate the like curly looking leaves, but I think that is just so unique and beautiful and adds almost like a, I don't know, like it's like jungly, it's bohemian, it's just really, really unique, and it will always be one of my favorite Hoyas. I'm just obsessed with it. So yeah, Hoya compacta, living her best life in the window now. It's in a plastic nursery pot. Inside of this kind of like woven basket. I just bought this basket and attached twine to it to create a little DIY hanging basket so that it'd be cuter than just the nursery pot. And yeah, it's been working pretty well for me. So yeah, I'm literally working up an appetite, grabbing these plants down, so I'm quickly heating up my lunch to take a little break. But I just wanted to say that all of the Hoya that I've shown you so far are really easy care. I care for them basically all the same, except for I would say the Bella is thirstier than the others. The compacta can go a really long time between waterings. I like to water it as soon as the soil is completely dry. Some people like to wait until they look like wrinkly or whatever. I don't do that. I don't want it to get to the point where it's like stressed and pruning up. So yeah, but it would be like quite a long time before I actually saw it wrinkling up. Like it could go for probably weeks between waterings if I really wanted to push it. But I like to keep it fairly well hydrated. But yeah, anyways, I just heated up a chickpea and rice casserole leftovers, so I'm gonna eat that and I'll be right back. Okay, the next one I have to show you, this one is beside the Hoya compacta in the window, and this is one that I actually recently moved into the window, like very recently. You'll see me repot this, or maybe the repotting video has already gone up, but I repotted this a few days ago and popped it into this hanging basket in the window because it was empty. This used to house a stunning Hoya croniana super silver, but she croaked. So now we have this rhipsalis, and honestly, I really love this combo. I think that this is so pretty, and rhipsalis gives like the ultimate jungle planty lush greenery vibes. I think that it is so cool. I've had this for years, and I had it, well, you'll see if you watch the repotting video, you'll see that it was in terracotta, which I don't grow any of my plants in terracotta anymore because they just dry out way too quickly. So I had it still in terracotta, hadn't been repotted for like years, so the root system wasn't looking very great. So now I'm really on a mission to grow this plant out and get it to be a more lush full basket because I just love the way that these look. when they are super full. I mean, this is still stunning, even though it's not like the biggest rhipsalis paradoxa out there. But yeah, I'm just excited to see what its potential could be. This doesn't have any new growth right now to show you, but the new growth looks so cute. It starts as just like a tiny little nub. It'll come out as like a tiny little nub off of a vine, and then it will slowly just expand and turn into its own little chain link kind of situation. I think this is a really unique plant. Again, one of the kind of like OG trailing plants that I was really excited about that I added into my collection in like 2020. I grew this from a cutting. Maybe I should actually take a couple of cuttings from this and propagate them, and I could make a video showing you all how I did that, and then I could just pot the cuttings back in here, and that would help us create a fuller basket. Yeah, I just love this one so much. I love jungle cactus in general. I treat these pretty much like my tropicals, or I guess that's kind of like my aim, but this one was obviously drying out way too much before, so hopefully we're gonna see some nice growth on it, and hopefully it will love the south-facing window. I'm a little worried it's gonna be too much light for it because I don't think I've ever blasted it with that much light, but we'll see how it goes. I'm going to be monitoring it pretty closely over the spring as we start to get more sunny days. Let me know if you have this, what type of lighting you grow it in. I would be curious to hear. But yeah, love this one so much. Such a fun and unique one. Oh, and there's also 2 different varieties of this. I'll show you the other one I have just for fun. I have this one sitting on my Vitcho plant shelf, just kind of hanging down, but this is the Rhipsalis paradoxa minor, so it has like thinner vines, very similar but thinner vines. This is another one that I just recently repotted, and I really want to see it start to fill out. These can look just immaculate when they're super full, so yeah, that is my aim for both of these, to grow them out and get them to be just like super full. Because I love the look of that. So yeah, this is another one that's like kind of hanging. I don't grow it hanging, but it's trailing off the side of my plant shelf. By the way, I don't know if this is helpful information to anyone, but I just thought I would mention it. I use S-hooks to hang, to hang all of my hanging plants on the curtain rod. You could use it for, I guess, whatever you're hanging them off of, but it's just a really simple and cheap way to hang them. So yeah, thought I would mention that. This one apparently has a little hummingbird hanging off of it. I'm just gonna take that off so we don't drop it. I love my sun catchers and things in the window. Anyways, this is my rat tail cactus. I love it so much. It is just like a trailing kind of long cactus, and it's really quirky, really unique. Am I the best at growing this? No. We have a lot of really skinny kind of tails and wonky tails because, like I said, I live in the Pacific Northwest. This grows in a window, so it is subject to natural light, and that natural light really dwindles for a lot of the year. So I'm sure that this plant would prefer more lights. Should I probably move it to a grow light over the winter? Yes, but have I ever done that for this plant? No. However, it still bloomed for me last spring, and it was the most immaculate thing ever. It made my day every single time I looked at it. It was this beautiful pink, and it was just like a glimmer of hope every time I saw it. It was just so, stood out so much, and it was so stunning. So yeah, that's this one. Am I the cactus expert? No, so I'm not really gonna talk too much about the details. I just think that this is a really fun one, and honestly it has grown a lot since I got it, so yeah, I'm sure it'll be happier once we get closer to spring here. Okay, we have another big one. Oh my goodness, I don't even know what to do with this plant lately, you guys. It is seriously out of control. Oh my gosh. I can hardly get it on the screen. Oh, this is crazy. So this is my fern leaf cactus. So it's a type of jungle cactus, and it's huge, as you can see. So this is kind of similar to the rickrack cactus, but I don't know, I just like these kind of frond looking leaves a little bit better. And I like that it's called fern leaf cactus. How cute. And yeah, I just think that it's so pretty. I was not expecting mine to pop off and get as massive as it has. But yeah, it's just been going crazy since we moved in here, like a year and a half ago. And yeah, I don't even really know what to do with it now because it takes up so much space and it like comes out so far. And honestly, it makes it kind of hard for me to get to a lot of my plants because it's just so intrusive. But I love it so much regardless, so what's a girl to do? I am thinking of moving it, which I mentioned in one of my last videos, so I might end up doing that sometime, but I don't know yet. Yeah, I think that this is a really easy to grow plant. I have it just in the same mix that I pot my tropicals into. It's just soil, orchid bark, and perlite, and it's done really well. Mine's pretty thirsty. I think oh, actually it's not too thirsty right now, which is good. But yeah, I don't know. It wasn't really doing too much for me until we moved here and it started getting more light, and that's when it really just went crazy. And heat. It was the summer that it put out these massive leaves was the first summer we were here. We did not have air conditioning yet, and it was so hot in here, and that's when this plant just went wild. And it's never really went that wild again, but we still have those big leaves from when it did that. I'm getting some like weird, like it will put out some weird growth. Like what is that? I don't know why it puts out some weird ones, but then some really nice ones. This is a new thing it's pushing out. It's too early to know if it's gonna be nice or not. They all come out as like a skinny thing, and then they will expand and like grow out the leaves and everything, so it's really interesting. But yeah, I would love for this to flower one day. Like I would probably perish. I'll probably perish. Hasn't flowered for me yet though. Anyways, I'm gonna put him back. Oh, good grief. Actually, I'm gonna leave him down here for a second so that I can grab our next plant. Okay, next we have hoya linearis. She lives on the second, the like higher south facing window. She's lived there since we moved in here almost 2 years ago. I popped her up there because I didn't know where else to put her for the time being, and I just ended up leaving her up there. She's happy, so yeah, we've just been going with that. Hoya linearis is my #1 favorite Hoya. I love this so incredibly much. Again, I feel like it really just gives that jungle vibe to the home. I love how just like delicate and graceful it looks trailing down. Like it's so, the combination of just all these dainty leaves, it's just absolutely incredible. And mine is like super, super long. She is probably 7 feet tall. Maybe a little bit more. Yeah, she's always growing like a beast. I actually need to trim her soon because she's gonna be touching the floor. And I also wanna do a repot and like fill her out, add in some cuttings. So that's gonna be my plan for pretty quick. Once I start doing my spring prep plant chores videos, y'all will see me do that. So I'm really looking forward to all of these spring videos, especially since the sun has been out lately. I am just really getting into the spring mood. I have like my bright nail polish on. I've been feeling it. So yeah, I'm really excited just like thinking of all the things that I want to do. And that's definitely one of them. Now, unfortunately, hoya linearis has never flowered for me, which like rude because she grows so much. Like she seems very happy and she gets so much sun up in that window, but she just hasn't flowered yet. So I'm patiently waiting for her to do that, and whenever she does, I will be so happy. This is a Hoya that I see people post photos of them just being absolutely covered in flowers all the time, so I am dreaming of the day that mine decides to go off like that. But until then, this is what I'm working with, and I love the foliage so much that I'm happy either way, but it would be really special to get flowers eventually. And I'm gonna water her while she's down. Okay, so the last hanging plant that I have in this window here is one that is not doing its best. It is my variegated string of pearls. Now I think string of pearls can be kind of notorious for people having problems with them, but yeah, I think that I definitely let this dry out too much, maybe? I don't know, it's hard to say whether it was drying out, underwatering, or overwatering. But regardless, I wanted to show it because, well, first of all, it's in one of my all-time favorite planters. I made the stupid mistake of spraying this with isopropyl alcohol because I was trying to prevent mealies. And I think that the alcohol dissolved the glue that was holding the like rope into, so this came crashing to the ground, and I was like shook, worried that this was going to be irreparable, but luckily it did not break. However, all 4 of these came clean out, and I had to just like tie them back in for now. I don't know if I'm gonna come up with a better repair for it than that, but it's a good lesson to learn, like if you have beautiful pottery like this, to maybe be careful with what you spray on it, because I really regretted doing that. Yeah, this is so beautiful. It's by O Clay. I can link her in the description. Now, most of it looks like shriveled, but there are some strands that look kind of plump. So I'm like, should I propagate it? Should I, like, some of the pearls look round and plump still, which is why I've kept it and I've still been taking care of it. Like, look at all these down here. Those look good. I think I will maybe take some cuttings of it because I love string of pearls, and this was a beautiful variegated one too. So yeah, it is kind of sad. This whole situation is just kind of sad. Anyways, it's fine. It's fine. But yeah, really cute planter, even though it had a bit of a tumble. I also have some empty planters in this window that I'm wanting to fill up for the spring. So one of them is this disco ball planter, which is one of my favorite things ever. If you don't have a disco ball planter in your window, you need to get one because it just casts the most beautiful little glimmers of light around the room. And sun catchers too. You can actually see some of my sun catchers are going right now. Look how pretty. Oh my gosh. It just makes it feel so magical. But yeah, I want to get some plants into the empty planters on here. And for the disco ball one, I'm thinking that I'm actually going to do I have some Christmas cactus and Easter cactus. I'm thinking of either doing a combo pot with those or just choosing one of them to go in that planter. So we'll see, but I think that would be really pretty to have in that window as well, and just to add some more kind of jungle cactus there. This is kind of a jungle cactusy area, especially if I do that. I think that would be really fun. It's funny how different areas of my home tend to have like a different kind of theme as per the types of plants that grow in them. They're all their own little like micro area. Like over here we have my climbers, some of my like bigger plants. Anyways, okay, so we are going to move along. Polyneura is a really great option for hanging plants as well. I have my big polyneura, the regular green one in the living room. I show that one all the time. This is my outer variegated one that I need to work on growing it out. Oh, there's new leaves. Yay. But yeah, I think that these are beautiful trailing hoya as well. We also have my solanum uleanum, I think, which is this gorgeous, really deep purple, almost like black foliage. It's super like velvety, soft, fuzzy. It's a really unique one. If I can grab the leaves to show you. Yeah, it's really cool. I thought I would just point this out because I get questions on it when it is just kind of in the background of videos. And I am currently growing this trailing off of my shelf. You could trellis this. I'm sure there's a lot of different ways you could grow this, but right now mine is just kind of this funky trailing situation. So yeah, just thought I would mention it. Okay, the last trailing but not hanging option that I'm gonna mention off of my plant shelf here is my, gosh, now we're backlit. There's no winning. There's no winning. It's my Hoya thomsonii, which I think that I might actually switch this to being trellised soon because I'm just not in love with it growing on the side of my plant shelf here. I just don't think it looks that good. So I might switch this to being trellised soon. So maybe I won't even include it in this video. I don't know. It's like, I don't know. I've seen them look good trailing, but mine just doesn't look that impressive, I don't think. Cebu blue pothos, which I'm growing out again. I want to eventually have this nice trailing or hanging basket. Anyways, okay, we're gonna move to the bedroom because I have, well, I suppose I have my like wally grows, but I also have my UFO planter in here. Okay, we're just gonna go over the wally grows quickly. I have the tripod balancing on my bed right now, so it's a little precarious. But over here we have my Hoya wayetii, one of my all-time favorite Hoya. And yeah, I have it hanging on the wall here in a wally grow. I have a whole video, I actually have a whole playlist, I think, because I've done several videos about these wally grow planters and potting different plants into them and switching them out and stuff like that. So if you're interested, I will link that as well. But I've been experimenting with different plants in here because I have my Soltech Highland grow light system mounted on the ceiling, and that gives such phenomenal lighting. So I used to have just like Hartley philodendron and scindapsus growing in here, but I wanted to experiment with some different plants, and especially plants that would flower for me because they'll be getting the light. That's why Hoya wayetii is here, because I love the blooms. One of my favorite Hoya blooms in my whole collection. They're fuzzy pink ones. They're so pretty. So if you, another really great suggestion for like a hanging basket in a window or something like that, I love Hoya wayetii, and they're pretty cheap and common. I got this one for like $5. The next one in the middle here is my Thai pink lipstick plant, and I really need to get this potted. I need to get, oh my gosh, it's attached. I need to get it out of this pot and potted right into the wally grow because it is just drying out way too fast. Oh my gosh, it's literally bone dry. This trails really beautifully. I used to have a big one growing in the south facing window where we just were in the dining room, but it just started not looking very good, and I decided to start it over from cuttings. So that's why I have this smaller one now. And yeah, I think it's gonna look really nice once I get it to be a little bit more full and it's in the wally grow planter and everything. So yeah, that's going to be another kind of spring thing for me to do. Maranta isn't really trailing, but it's technically in a hanging planter, so I have a variegated Maranta here. It's not doing too well, so I have cuttings of it rooting as well, but we'll see what happens. Another Hoya polyneura, this is the silver version, and then we have my monkey tail cactus over here, probably the weirdest plant in my collection, or one of them. It's a fuzzy trailing cactus. It's very strange, and mine especially looks quite alien. Some of them look really nice, and I wish that mine did, but I try to appreciate it for its just weirdness. Regardless, it goes to live outside in the summertime, so I'm excited for when I can put it back out there again because I don't think it's very happy indoors here. Okay, one of my favorite planters in my collection, and we have another Hoya linearis potted into it, which we already know I love. So this is a UFO planter. I will link where I got it from down in the description box, but it's really cool because you actually pot your plant in upside down, so it comes out the bottom, and then the top is just, I mean, I suppose I could put something in the top too. That'd be kind of cool. But yeah, it's a really unique one, and the Hoya linearis has done so well in here. I mean, obviously you can see how big it is. It is bone dry because this planter hasn't been living in the bedroom until recently. I moved it in here. I just keep completely forgetting that it's in here, so I'm gonna take it to the sink and give it a water right now. But yeah, definitely one of my coolest and most unique hanging planters in the collection, so that is always a fun one. And there was different color options when I ordered this. I got this like a year and a half ago now, but I got the pink finish on the top, so that just makes it extra fun. Yeah, stunning. Over here in this corner I have a few plants, and one of them is hanging on this shelf here. It is my Hoya wilbur graves, and it looks like it is struggling with mealybugs still, so that's fun, but it is still beautiful. Look at how silver the leaves are. This is one of my all-time favorite Hoya. It's even turning purple because it's under a Soltech light right there, and it is so bright and strong that I'm getting sun stressing on this plant. So yeah, it's gorgeous. Yeah, to be honest, this one doesn't really get a ton of attention from me. I love having it in this spot because it's getting a lot of light, and I would love to see this bloom one day, but I can tend to neglect the plants in the bedroom a little bit, so I need to be better about that, and I think that I am slowly getting better about it because now there's way more plants in here than there used to be, so I'm kind of in here taking care of plants more. But yeah, I don't know, it's just a good spot for it where it can get some really great light. And then I think the last one I'm gonna mention is my ooh, has a creepy looking dead leaf on here. But the last one I'm gonna, oh, a couple. Okay, the last one I'm gonna mention, Scindapsus exotica. Now, I really love Scindapsus exotica. I think that they're beautiful, they're easygoing, and I think that they make really stunning hanging baskets or just like sitting on a shelf or on top of a cabinet in this case. So pretty. Like, just look at those leaves. I'm not a huge Scindapsus person, but if I had to pick one, I think that I would just go with the tried and true exotica because it gives really big leaves. I love the silver pattern that you get, and it's fairly easygoing. The only thing is, if they're not getting enough light, you can get vines like this with a lot of just empty nodes. Like, there's no leaves, it's just a long vine coming down. So yeah, this is a really low light spot. Like, this is a very bright day, and even still you can see that this is a dark corner, so really the only light it gets is from the grow lights in here, just kind of coming out onto the vines. But I keep it up there regardless because even if it doesn't grow a ton, it still looks pretty just the way that it currently is. So I'm super happy having it up there, and it's very low maintenance. Like, literally all I do is water it every couple of weeks probably. Okay, I think that that is it. I hope so, at least. There's definitely, like I said, it's kind of hard to decide which ones to feature because a lot of, like, I have some hoyas on the shelf that are like cascading as well, but I wanted to keep it limited to my plants hanging in the windows and then other just kind of like statement hanging plants around the home. So I really hope that you enjoyed. Let me know if you have any questions about any of the plants and I will get back to you. Once again, a huge thank you to Helix for sponsoring today's video. Make sure you check them out if you're in the market for a new bed. You can get 27% off your mattress purchase plus 2 free pillows with the link down below in the description box. Other than that, I think that's it. I am going to work on some editing and just enjoy the sunshine for the rest of the day. It is just so, like, I'm still not over the fact that we've had sun for the past couple of weeks. It makes me feel like a different person at this time of year. All right, I hope you guys are well, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.